It's the second legs of the Champions League semi-finals. Inter at home against Barcelona and PSG hosting Arsenal. Which two of these four amazing remaining teams will make it through to the final? Let's take a look at how the first legs played out and how the teams performed over the weekend in their respective leagues. And let's see if we can predict the outcomes of both second legs and who will make it through to the final. Welcome back everyone to Panenka Predictions. I hope you're all just as excited as I am for the second legs of these amazing semi-final games, and we're going to kick off our predictions this week with InterMilan at home against the mighty Barcelona. What an incredible game that first game was. I'm sure that you've all seen the highlights, but if you haven't, make sure you go and check them out. Inter took a very early lead with a very cheeky back heel and then doubled their lead with a Jet Li style scissor kick. Never mind the high feet ref. And then the wonder kid of world football, Lamal, scored a beautiful individual goal to narrow the lead, and then Ferran Torres brought the two sides levels with an easy finish after great build-up play between Pedri and Rafinha. In the second half, Inter again took the lead, again via a corner where Dumfries notched up his second goal of the evening before Rafinha unleashed a pile driver of a shot from 25 yards out more or less that struck the crossbar and rebounded back in off the goalkeeper's back to make it 3-3 in this game, and that's how the first leg ended up. Barcelona did dominate the majority of possession in the game as expected, but Inter, they weren't too worried about that as they had their own game plan, which really involved trying to beat the defensive highline of Barcelona with runs coming in from deep and their wing backs overlapping as well, and of course to be very dangerous from set pieces where they have a clear physical advantage over the Barcelona side. And Inter should feel very happy to come away with the draw from Barcelona, and now with the home fans behind them in their Giuseppe Meazza stadium, they will feel quietly confident of being able to get the job done and make it through to the final. However, when it comes to confidence, there's no team in the world right now that shares the same level of self-belief and confidence as this young Barcelona side. They've managed to win so many crucial games this season coming from behind. It doesn't matter if the opposition scores 1 or 2 or even 3 goals, and this has led to an incredible sense of belief within the team that they can turn around any result at any time. They have just so much quality in their team, especially on the right side with Lamal leading the attack. But the main problem for Barcelona right now is key injuries. Because of the way the team plays, with 2 overlapping fullbacks joining in the attack, then when either of these wingbacks are missing, the team really doesn't offer the same threat going forward. It doesn't have the same balance, and nor does it have the same reliability or speed in defense. And in that first leg at home, they were without the services of Alejandro Baldi, who's the left back for Barcelona and Spain, and he's probably the fastest and best left back in Spain right now, so there is no clear substitute for that player, and you can't replace someone like that. But they did have the ever reliable right back Jules Koundé playing, and he could combine well with Lamine Yamal in that game, as they have done all season. However, the problem now is for this second game, they are without both of those wing backs, so the coach is going to have to do some serious reshuffling of the back line. However, on a positive note, it does look like the big Paul Robert Lewandowski will be on the team sheet for this game, and if needed, and probably when needed, he can possibly make an appearance in the second half to add that extra quality to the Barcelona attack and to potentially score a crucial goal that sees Barca qualify for the final. Now, both teams played and won their respective games in their leagues on the weekend, and both teams did make wholesale changes for those games, so we really can't take too much away from those results. For Inter, it's very much touch and go right now to see if Lautaro Martinez will be available for the second leg. Otherwise, they've pretty much got their full squad to call upon. And as already mentioned, Barca are going to be without their 2 wing backs and their main striker up front. And although he did finally make a comeback reappearance on the weekend against Valladolid, after his long-term absence through injury, Ter Stegen will not be starting between the sticks for Barcelona, and they will once again be going into this crucial second leg semi-final game with their second choice goalkeeper Szczesny once again, and he's been doing all right. This potentially is going to be the game of the year. The more experienced and pragmatic style of InterMilan, looking to hold off the talented, speedy and super skillful youngsters of Barcelona, who just never give up and have probably got the best attacking trio in the world right now when fully fit. I think this is going to be an amazing game, fitting of the final itself, and once again in this game we're going to see lots of goals. Predicting a winner in this game is really difficult. I mean, I think Inter will definitely score again in this game, but Barcelona, they're going to score as well. So obviously for prediction, both teams to score seems pretty obvious for this game, especially after the result in the first leg. And I'm pretty sure you could go one step further and actually predict both teams to score and for this game to go over 2.5 goals as well. However, for my prediction, I'll just keep it safe and simple for this game. There's so much writing in this game for me anyway. I'm just going to go for over 2.5 goals as my prediction between Inter and Barcelona for this game. And like I said, if you want to get something a little bit more juicy, then you could possibly go for a Barcelona away win with both teams scoring, or maybe even possibly over 3.5 goals, just as we saw in the first game, if you wanted to be a little bit safer and not really pick a winner. I obviously hope that Barcelona will go through, but it is going to be a super difficult game if the same Inter that played in the first leg shows up once again. However, if it's the Inter that lost 3 games on the trot prior to the first leg in Catalonia, then I think Barcelona could actually run away with this second leg and make it all the way to the final. Once again, only time will tell. Let me know your predictions for this game. I'm super interested to know your thoughts and predictions, so please share them with me down in the comments and let's have a chat. Moving on to the other semi-final now, and we have Paris Saint-Germain, who hold a 1-0 lead from the first leg in London, hosting Arsenal on Paris. Once again, PSG took an early lead against English competition in the Champions League as Dembele's scuffed shot squeezed in off the far post. And unfortunately for the Gunners and all the neutral supporters, that was the only goal in that game, although both teams did create a few more scoring opportunities. The better opportunities, I feel, were created by Arsenal. However, they just could not find a way past the giant goalkeeper Donnarumma for PSG. He made save after terrific save to deny the Gunners, and I think the difference right now in this tie is basically down to Dembele's stroke of luck with his mishit shot and Donnarumma's outstanding save. So the Gunners, they're still very much in this tie despite losing that first leg at home, and they've got it all to play for in the second leg. I mean, literally, this is their only chance of winning any trophy this season. And I must admit, I was really surprised to see that Arteta fielding such a strong side in the weekend fixture at home against Bournemouth, which, I mean, they went on to lose 2-1 anyway. And I don't think that loss is going to help them psychologically coming into this game, as well as it's going to make them more tired coming into this game. So that decision for me was a bit of a head scratcher. PSG fielded a much weaker side in their away loss against Strasbourg on the weekend, just like both Inter and Barca did for their games. So it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal players respond in this crucial game after having played such a, what I think was just a dead rubber game a few days earlier on. I personally would like to see Arsenal get the job done in Paris and make it through to the final to face, well, Barcelona, of course. However, I don't really see it happening. I think PSG, once again, they're going to get the better of a more tired Gunners team, and they'll probably get a drab, narrow home win to secure their spot in the final. Unless, of course, a certain Declan Rice or Mikel Merino or even Saka have an inspired goal and pull off some miracle top bins type shots that will be required to get past this goalkeeper and give the Gunners some hope and chance in this tie. I really hope they do. If they had their full strength team, then I would actually have them as favourites in this game. And to be fair, they've done very well getting as far as they have, considering the long-term injuries to so many key players that they've had to endure this season. However, for my prediction for PSG at home to Arsenal, as much as I'd like to see Arsenal take something from this game, I'm going to predict instead that PSG will score at least 2 goals in this home game against Arsenal. I think PSG are going to score in the first half like they always tend to, and then as the game goes on, maybe Arsenal can nick a goal back, but I think the tired legs are going to start to creep in, and the frustration of just being denied so many times by this man mountain, Donnarumma, the goalkeeper of PSG, I think that Arsenal will start to fade late in the game, and PSG will go on to score a crucial second goal at home and qualify themselves for a place in the final. So I'm going for PSG to score at least 2 goals or more at home against Arsenal. Come on, Arsenal supporters, tell me I'm wrong. Give me some sort of hope that they can get past PSG in this tie and make it to the final. I want to hear from you guys. Tell me how the Gunners are going to do it. I want to see Barcelona versus Arsenal in the final in the Champions League, as it brings back so many happy memories from 2005 in the Champions League final in Paris between these two teams, where I was actually there to see that game, and for me, footballing wise, was probably one of the best nights ever. Can you imagine just absolutely drunk as a skunk, dancing up and down the Champs-Elysees under the Eiffel Tower with thousands of Barca supporters? That is a moment I'm never going to forget. So I'm really hoping that Barcelona and Arsenal can light it up in the Champions League final again this year. Let me know who you think will make it to the final and why down in the comments. And then strap yourself in for some incredible semi-final action starting on Tuesday night with Inter versus Barcelona and following it up on Wednesday with PSG versus Arsenal. It's going to be an amazing week of football. Please give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. And I'll see you all again in a few days days' time for my predictions video for week 36 of the English Premier League and La Liga as well. Oh, Barcelona! And until next time, guys, have a great week, and I will see you again very soon.